Okay, just wanted to show you some examples of how to multiply fractions. All right, so if we had 1/8 times 1/9. When you're multiplying fractions, all you're simply doing is multiplying across. So you're going to take the top two numbers, multiply them, and then multiply the two bottom numbers across. So we're going to take the 1 times the 1 gives us the 1, and then the 8 times the 9 gives us 72. Looking at that answer, that is a proper fraction because our number at the top, our numerator, is smaller than our denominator, and it can't be reduced any further, so that would be our final answer. So 1/8 times 1/9 equals 1/72. All right, let's look at another example. So if we have 2/5 times 1/8, simply again just multiplying across. So 2 times 1 gives us 2. 5 times 8 gives us 40. Okay, that is a proper fraction because our top number is smaller than the denominator. But looking at it, it can be reduced down. Looks like we can take a 2 out. So that 2 into 2 gives us 1. 2 into 40 gives us 20. So that, and that can't be reduced any further. So that would be our final answer. So 2/5 times 1/8 would be equal to 1/20. Okay, so here's a couple more examples. If we had 3/4 times 2. So for this problem, what we have is a fraction, and we're multiplying it by a whole number 2. So the first thing we need to do is rewrite this. So how you do that is it's going to be the 3/4 times, now that 2, it's a whole number, but to write it as a fraction is actually over a 1. It's an imaginary 1. So that's how you would write it, and then you just do your simple multiplication across. So 3 times 2 would give us 6. 4 times 1 would be 4. Now we look at our answer, and we've got our 6 is larger than our 4, so that means this is an improper fraction. So what we have to do is change that over to a proper fraction. So 4 into 6 would go one time, leaving 2 as a remainder over that 4. And it looks like we can reduce that 2/4 down. So by 2. So let's do that. So 2 into 2 is 1. Sorry, my 1 doesn't look very straight. And then 2 into 4 would be 2. So that would be our final answer. 3/4 times 2 would be 1 1/2. Would be our final answer. Okay, let's look at another one. So say we had 4 1/2 times 2/3. All right, so for this one, before we can do the multiplication, we need to change this first number into an improper fraction. So we need to rewrite this. So what we're going to do that would be, remember, you're going to take your bottom number, or 2, multiply it by that 4, and then add that 1. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 would be 9 over that original denominator, which is 2. And then we can multiply it by that 2/3 then. So here's our problem rewritten then. So we change the 4 1/2 to 9/2, and then we multiply it by the 2/3. All right, so now we can simply multiply across. So that is going to be 18, 9 times 2, and then 2 times 3 gives us 6. Okay, now that is an improper fraction because 18 is larger than 6. So we need to change that back over to a proper fraction. So we're going to do that. So 6 will go into 18 exactly 3 times. So that will be our answer because we have nothing remaining because 3 times 6 is 18. So it's just 3 is our answer. If we had a remainder, then again, we would put that over the 6 as a fraction beside the 3, but we didn't have anything remaining, so our answer is a whole number, the number 3. So 4.5 times 2/3 equals 3. All right, let's look at one more. So if we have 1 and 2/9, and we're multiplying it by 1.5. All right, so again, we need to rewrite this so that we have improper fractions here, because we want to get rid of these ones here so that way we can just do our multiplication across. So we're going to take the 9 times the 1 is 9, plus that 2 gives us 11 over this original 9. And then it's going to be multiplied by this one. So we're going to take the 2 times the 1 is 2, plus the 1 gives us 3 over this original 2. So this is now our rewritten problem. So we're going to take that now and do our multiplication. So 11 times 3 gives us 33. 9 times 2 is 18. Okay, again, this is an improper fraction because our top number is larger, so we're going to need to switch that over. So 18 into 33 goes one time. 33 minus 18 gives us 15 as our remainder. That's going to go over the 18 from the original, our original denominator. All right, so now let's look at this. This 15/18 can actually be reduced down. So looks like we can reduce it by 3. So 3 into 15 goes 5 times. 3 into 18 goes 6 times. All right, it doesn't look like we can reduce down any further. So that would be our final answer, 1 5/6. So from our original problem, 1 2/9 times 1.5, our answer is 1 5/6. Okay, I hope that helps. I can send you some more if you need additional help. Just let me know. Thanks.